Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do a speed build of this octagonal home right here on the screen that I built in Sulani. I'm going to keep this up throughout the build so you can kind of see the reference image here over to the side. And this proved to be a bit challenging. It was posted in one of those Facebook groups. I think the Builderspiration one, but also the Sims 4 Uncensored that I'm a part of. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, I want to build that." But building an octagonal home is really tricky. You could see I kind of built the shape of the house using the roof as an example because of the way that the way that the roof is shaped kind of determines the shape of the house and how big the house is going to be. So, unfortunately, this isn't a tiny home, just because, yeah, it's really hard to get those dimensions right. It actually started out a lot bigger than I really intended it to be, but having to come back and shrink it all down while keeping that octagonal shape intact. Um, yeah, was not going to happen. But I did end up, you'll see later, I did end up shrinking it down a little bit. Another key difference is the rooms to the side. If you look at the reference picture, they're kind of like they're not square shaped. They've got those sharp angles in there to kind of keep that octagonal shape, but that just wasn't happening. Building this, I decided to make the back bathroom laundry room area as well as the two bedrooms on the side square and just keep them square coming out from the sides here. So there it is, me kind of building the shape of the one bedroom and then the other bedroom and then trying to go, okay, well, these rooms are kind of large. This internal area is also kind of big. So how can I shrink this down? I had some weird angled corners in there that I wasn't really going to work with just because trying to put something on such a sharp angle can be very tricky. So I also initially tried building this and I cut that first part out because I started building it and it was just a hot mess and I ended up having to like bulldoze the whole thing and start over. So I actually started at the point where I finally kind of got what was going to work best, which was, designing the shape of the house based on the shape of the roof. This stilted foundation also gave me a bit of trouble because the stilted foundation only went kind of around certain parts. And because of the way I was adding the decking pieces, the platform pieces and stuff to the build, there were definitely like kind of hidden or invisible rooms that weren't getting the stilted foundation underneath. And so I kind of had to, eventually I had to like click around until I heard it as I was building and it was doing the funk thing for the foundation. And then I looked underneath and saw, okay, I can see all the way through now with this stilted foundation. Now, the reason I put it in Sulani was because, I don't know, to me, this kind of looks like a, a Florida home or the type of home that you would see in Florida. It's kind of got, I think it was the stilted foundation for me and kind of the landscaping and overbrush there with the palm trees and the stuff going around the side. It just I lived, unfortunately, I lived in Florida against my will for 6 years or so, so I am familiar with what Florida homes kind of look and feel like. And I know Sulani isn't Florida. I don't want to diss Sulani like that. It's definitely based off of a much nicer tropical area known as Hawaii, which I've got no beef with. Um, so, but there is no Florida in The Sims. So this was kind of the best bet. The stilted foundation just kind of fit better in Sulani. I did add grass kind of around it. I made it more circular to kind of go underneath the house. Um, there are some patches of grass off of the lot there if you look at like where the rocks and some of that stuff is. So I didn't think it was that unreasonable, but then part of me is like, well, this is supposed to be a beach house. So I don't know. If you want to bulldoze the terrain and do something different with it, that's fine. I think a lot of the lots in Sulani are just kind of on beaches and beach sand. So, whatever. The railing here, I wanted something that was more vertical. I didn't go with the other railing. It looked a little too nautical for my taste. I went with this Seasons railing instead, which was really pretty. And then picking the door, the front door in the picture has those two long glass windows in it, and there is a door. I believe it's either university or high school years. I think it's university. Maybe it's eco lifestyle. It'll come up in a second. But there is a door that's a similar look, but it didn't have that kind of light colored wood texture. Here we are looking at the yeah, that's university. So it's a university door, but the brown was a little too brown, and the lighter colors, the only light color that really worked was white. So I ended up going with white because the other browns just didn't have that light tan kind of color that was in the picture. But I kind of went for, the two mirrors as opposed to finding a door that wasn't exactly the same. The same thing with the windows. Yes, the windows in the picture were kind of the, two side by side. And I tried doing that and I was just like, it doesn't look right in The Sims. It doesn't, it, for whatever reason, it wasn't working with those types of windows. That style of window was just too small. It made the wall look too blank. So I went with those Seasons windows instead, which I love those windows actually. I think I use them in a lot of my builds. Just because, even though I don't see that style of window in real life very often, for some reason, I just feel like they look really nice in The Sims on buildings. It just kind of adds a bit of dimension. Um, yeah. The roof came from Eco Lifestyle. And again, even though the roof in the picture has more of a green tone to it, the green version of this particular roof from Eco Lifestyle was a little too bright and like, whoa, in your face green. So I went with kind of like a more subtle, it's grayish, but I felt like it just worked better. I also looked at some of the green shingles and some other green roofing when I tried to do that, and it didn't look right. The sheet metal lines, I would say, looked the best in my opinion. Um, now here I am kind of shrinking the main room. Hmm, Sorry, still getting over that cold. It's almost gone. I mean, that's just what happens when you have kids and the toddlers insist on drinking drinks with you. Whatever they've got, you're eventually going to get. It's just going to happen. So I pulled in the rooms on the side and was really trying to shrink down that main living area because I realized there was just way too much space for what it looked like in the floor plan. Like two couches, a little four-seater chair, and just a little side kitchen area took up the whole space. And I'm looking at this going, oh yeah, there's way too much room here in the middle. Like, it's not bad for gameplay purposes. Like, that would be great. The laundry room, the bathroom, and the bedrooms are like perfectly reasonable sizes, but the interior, there's a lot more room for just other stuff. So if you wanted to, I kind of stuck with the floor plan. So I didn't put anything on the back veranda. I didn't put anything extra really in the rooms, except I think I added a fireplace. Although, looking at the floor plan here, it does kind of look like there is a fireplace. So, in just a second here, you're going to see me find a little piece of roof. When I was moving the roof back and forth to rebuild the ceiling or put in a ceiling on the veranda part, the porch and veranda part, I shrunk down one of the roof pieces so much that I couldn't find it right away. So I come back up here to kind of extend the roof and put the things on. And as I'm moving it, I'm like, oh, there's the other tiny little roof piece over here. Oops. So I just finished putting the ceiling pieces on there. And then I got rid of that other roof piece. And again, because it's two different roof pieces, because there's like a flat portion and then there's like a sharp peak in the middle, just in that middle part there. So I had to use two roof pieces kind of layered on top of each other in order to get that particular roof shape. And then I shrunk down, because I shrunk down the interior, I shrunk down the veranda portion instead. But by shrinking down the veranda portion, then you see I didn't uh, have that octagonal shape going all the way to the edge of the room. And it was just proving to be really annoying. So I just kind of was like, all right, I'm done. This is close enough. It's similar enough. I'm just going to deal with it and start decorating the interior here. So the dual sinks in the bathroom, there was plenty of room for that. There was definitely room for a big old shower. And then towards the back, I did put a little deck area that just kind of goes straight down into the water because this is in Sulani. Instead of stairs, I don't think you can put stairs directly into the water. So I had to do the ladders. And then I added stairs to either side as well. So if you come out to the side veranda, you can go down and access the beach out of any bathroom. And here's the part where I'm adding the fireplace. I didn't put it on the wall that is shown in the floor plan. I put it on the other wall, the one that's by the bedroom, just because I didn't want it to get in the way of the windows. And then here I am putting that little four-seater chair, and the whole room just looks huge. So I'm like, you could theoretically put in like a grand dining table in that back area and it would totally fit and work just fine. In fact, I feel like this room for gameplay would work really, really well, the shape of it, because there aren't that many interior walls. And so they just kind of have this open space to go to and from. And then they just dip off to the side to go to bed or use the toilet. And then everything is kind of in that main open floor plan, main space, main area. And then I also started putting down like tables and chairs. The coloring in the floor plan, the top down floor plan, looked like the table on the veranda with the chairs in it was like more wood colored, but then looking at the picture above, it's actually more like outdoors, like wrought iron style. And so I kind of switched it out for the patio stuff. Um, and then these are the new counters. Oh, I love it. I even put the new subway tiles up there. Not entirely sold on the subway tiles, but I just felt like, they're new. Got to use them. um, maybe I'll use a different backsplash, but that kitchen corner definitely was looking kind of sparse, kind of way, way, way open. So then I decided to add some island counters and some bar stool seating over there as well. The rug, what rug did I think I went with the city living rug sized up, ultimately, the fluffy rug. Just because I don't know, I just felt like it was a fluffy rug kind of layout there. The flooring, I went with was it a tile flooring from the spa day, I think. Because tile floors and like marble and tile floors in houses in Florida and other tropical spaces just makes a lot of sense. You don't see a lot of hardwood, but you do see a lot of like marble and tile and stuff because it's very cool. And in a tropical space when it's very hot and humid and gross, like having those cool tiles actually does affect just the temperature and the overall vibe of the indoors. So I just thought it worked better. Yeah, those are the spa day tiles, which are really nice. And I started by putting that bar over there, and then I realized, oh yeah, there's a matching bar from the new kitchen set that was gifted to us for the birthday celebration. So I'm going to use that, put some islands on the either side of that. And that is a perfect little bar stool seating area to kind of help fill out that living space. So that was fun. I also really I use these bar stools a lot from the My First Pet stuff. Which My First Pet stuff, I don't use the rats at all. I don't use the little critters, the rats, hamsters, and any of that stuff. But what I do use is those bar stools. And then there are blinds from My Littlest Pet stuff that fit perfectly in some interior windows pretty well. I also did this little trick with the vanity in the bathroom where I took two regular counters and then two end piece counters and kind of put them in there in the bathroom. That looked really, really cute. And then I added a tub as well. I know a lot of people don't like showing, like builders on YouTube and stuff, they don't really show the bathroom build because they think bathrooms are boring. But maybe it's just me being a newbie. I don't mind building and showing bathroom builds. I think bathrooms are one of the easiest ones for beginners to learn how to use because they're small. You definitely need, the shower tub, sink, basics, but then the bathroom clutter kit and some of the other bathroom items like hand towels and hand soap and all that stuff can really help you practice the moving the countertop out of the way to kind of situate things properly and things like that. This wallpaper from, I believe it's university or high school years, but as I've been building more, I'm discovering just how much I use high school years stuff when building. Like a lot of their stuff for building is really good. I know a lot of people crap on high school years gameplay, which I'm not going to lie, is understandable. Like it's fair. The gameplay gets a little repetitive, and if you don't play with teens in The Sims, then it's just kind of boring. But the high school itself is also very, very empty. And I know they have reasons for that. It has to do with, running the game on older PCs. And if you have too much stuff on a lot, it can drag things down. It can cause crashes. It can cause issues. So you don't want to, when you're designing the build that comes with the pack, you don't want to, there's like a limit to how much stuff you can put in there. But just like with, Del Sol Valley, I have played in Del Sol Valley and Get Famous, and I actually like the world itself is very pretty, and even though the builds are kind of sparse and a little bit meh, it's been around long enough now that enough people have renovated and or just built brand new stuff for Del Sol Valley that I usually just go in, change all the lots to my liking, and then I enjoy living in Del Sol Valley. So kind of the same with this too. That's part of the fun of The Sims. You go in and you build what your PC can handle, and then you play the game, and it just continues to grow. So here I am, making, kind of putting in some overbrush and maybe some palm trees and things, kind of giving it those Florida vibes. Bringing the grass bits down to really just underneath the house itself. I don't know. I kind of figured the moisture and stuff would help the grass grow under there with the stilts and everything. It wouldn't get too dried out from the sun that it would just become sand. So I kind of feel like, yeah, that works. Um, Low-lying flowers and then a lot of these like marshy tall grasses and things around the place. It kind of looks jungly. In fact, I think it's either Jungle Adventure or the Sulani stuff. And now I'm coming in painting the ceilings. I was like, whoa, yeah, that ceiling looks bad. So then I decided, I think, to go with that tan flooring that I used, which looked really good. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And then I was like, the flooring on the veranda is actually not white flooring. It's more of like a warmer, like yellowy, tan, brown color. So I ended up changing that out, but keeping the wood that's currently on the veranda, keeping that on the ceiling because I felt like that looked really, really nice. So here I am putting in the windows on the bedrooms on either side of the bed because I kind of noticed, oh, yeah, the floor plan says there's windows there. And then at some point here, I'm going to add those happy birthday sliding glass doors to the other wall in the bedroom so that the bedrooms have access. There it is, changing the flooring. And then the bedrooms will have access to the veranda parts as well. And I'm almost done here. The stairs that I used to get up to the porch area didn't match exactly, but they were close enough that I wasn't going to fuss with it. I think it's because they don't have the wood grain on them. I think they're, I don't know, um, kind of has more of like a plank style or something. But it worked well enough that I just decided to keep it. I wasn't going to fuss with it too much. And then the front by the doors, because the inside room area is a little bigger than what the floor plan shows, the walls looked kind of blank next to the front door. So I initially tried putting in some windows and I was like, yeah, that didn't work. Um, and then I added those exterior lights, which I thought looked really good in the picture. So I was about to save it like that. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, I can't save it like this. It's dark. So I X'd out of it after I already started writing the description, made it daytime, and then wrote the description and all the stuff in there again. It's not technically a starter home, it's more like a mid tier home, but it works really nicely and I'm really proud of it. So I hope you enjoyed my build and go check it out in the gallery and download it for your gameplay. Have a nice day, everybody.